Our nation is now in Jim Crow 2.0. We are a nation where the right to vote once again can be diluted, restricted, or simply ignored.
This is Jim Crow. This is what Democrats call Jim Crow. Next slide, please. See, that is Jim Crow. For whatever reason, this is what Democrats call Jim Crow. Slide, please. That is Jim Crow. This is what Democrats call Jim Crow.
I want to tell you guys about Verdict Bourbon. If you're looking for a good bourbon, the best bourbon on the market, I'm telling you, go look at the reviews. Don't listen to me. Great bourbon, straight, 6-year, smooth, flavorful. And then you also have the 6-year, same mash bill, just with brown sugar in it. So if you like it a little sweet like our old fashioned, we got you covered. We have, we probably hundreds and hundreds of 5-star reviews at this point. VerdictBourbon.com, VerdictBourbon.com, get you some bourbon today, baby. All right, let's get to Wesley Hunt because I think this is important too. This is an important cultural issue that we need to talk about. And that is the Democrats pushing this Jim Crow stuff and associating with voting. Let's put my boy up on the screen. We're going to put Hank on there first. Hank Johnson is the dumbest person in Congress ever to exist. It was an island somewhere. That fool thought if it was too many people on it, the island would flip over. I swear, God is my witness. I put that on my life. That he said this in a congressional hearing. That fool thinking if you on too many people, the island gonna tip over like this. This guy is the dumbest guy in Congress. Sheila Jackson Lee was number 2. I remember I made a video, got millions of views because Sheila Jackson Lee didn't know the difference between a 5.56 and a 50 cal. She's so stupid. All right, put him on there. Roll it.
Where some enjoy easy access to the ballot, others are forced to overcome legal barriers designed to make our voices quieter. Our nation is now in Jim Crow 2.0. We are a nation where the right to vote once again can be diluted, restricted, or simply ignored, and where the voices of rich and powerful people carry more weight than the voices of ordinary Americans, but particularly Americans who look like me. Our 250-year experiment in self-governance can only succeed if Americans decide that the clock has run out on the far right's attempt to overturn our democracy. So we can either sit back as our Supreme Court continues to act without any restraint or checks and balances, or we can do something about it.
Shut your silly self up, boy. You too old to be that silly. When you got gray hair, you ain't no excuse to be that silly. The people that look like me don't have access to voting. What? Do you know what kind of loogie you spitting in the face of our ancestors? I'm talking about from way down here, right in the face of all these black people who died for us to vote. And to this day, we can go right down there and get your ID and register to vote like that. And then all you gotta do is go, this is my address, this is the voting place. You walk right over there and vote. How we ain't able to vote? Show me a black man that can't vote. The Negro voted for the Democrats. They ain't had no problem voting for Democrats, but somehow they got a problem with voting today. They had a problem when they voted for Obama. They had a problem when they voted for Joe Biden. They didn't have a problem with Clinton. They didn't have a problem with Kamala Harris' sorry self. Where is this mysterious inability for black people to vote? Look at all these black people in Congress. Y'all sorry, boy. Come on, I want Wesley Hunt. Come on, brother.
My own father, who grew up in a segregated South, had to walk around to the back of a restaurant just to order a sandwich because of the color of his skin. That was Jim Crow. And that is precisely why it is so offensive to compare that era of legalized discrimination and racial terror to showing a photo ID in a voting booth. And it's just as offensive when groups and organizations like these manufacture faux hate and racial tension. Requiring identification to vote is not oppression. It is not segregation. It is not racism. It is a basic standard that applies equally to every single American citizen, regardless of what you look like. You need an ID to board a plane. You need an ID to cash a check. You need an ID to buy alcohol. You need an ID to enter these very federal buildings. And by the way, attaining an ID in this country is an extremely low bar. But somehow showing an ID to vote in America is now considered to be Jim Crow 2.0. This is not about civil rights. This is about political theater. And the Democrat Party survives on manufacturing grievance.
Come on. Come on. Drop the clergy collar, whatever you got to drop it. Drop the mic, drop the podium, drop the building. Got that. He made a point that I haven't thought about yet, and I've been to the Capitol building probably 7 times now. You have to have ID. So that means that the Capitol building is racist because somehow they think we still monkeys. Me no ID. So we can't get in the Capitol building. If you go to any event at the White House, you have to go and get checked through Secret Service. I have been to the White House I don't know how many times. There were thousands of black people that have been to the White House for black events specifically. And ain't nobody complaining about going through Secret Service with your identification and your social security number. You got to fill out a whole thing so they can do a background check on you. Y'all stupid, boy. Y'all gonna pay for this one day. Y'all gonna pay for this one day. Salvation is gonna be turned away from y'all lying devils. Come on, Wesley. Wesley got the last part. And I want to play this just about a minute and a half. A little bit over a minute and a half. Roll it.
This is Jim Crow. This is what Democrats call Jim Crow. Next slide, please. See, that is Jim Crow. For whatever reason, this is what Democrats call Jim Crow. Next slide, please. That is Jim Crow. This is what Democrats call Jim Crow. I know that some of these images can seem to be very jarring to many of us that haven't experienced that over the course of the past 40 years of my lifetime. I never saw these things. I never experienced them personally, but I have family members who have and who did. And that's why it is extraordinarily important for us to be very, very careful with what we compare to Jim Crow, because this country has come a very, very long way. I keep saying this over and over and over and over again till I am blue in the face. I represent a white majority district along with 3 of my other black colleagues here in Congress. And you know what? Nobody cares about what we look like. We are being judged not by the color of our skin, but by the content of our character, because we've come a long way from this. I don't want to go back to that. In fact, I want to continue on the path that America has set forward in the name of Jesus Christ.
Come on.
And I want to let people know that we don't need to be angry. We don't need to be divided. We want equality for everyone. Let me be crystal clear. This is not 1960 anymore. It's 2026. And the fact that groups like these are willing to stoke the flames of hate by funding the KKK is absurd.
Come on, man. I can turn my podcast off and never do the podcast again. He has said it all. He said it all. Why are we here, ladies and gentlemen? This country is not a racist nation. We passed that point. There's some idiots out there that's still racist on both sides. I see it in my comment section. There's some nut jobs in my comment section saying racist stuff against me and also against other people. There's idiots that are going to forever live on earth. As long as people have free will and we're in a nation of freedom and freedom of expression, there's going to be people that are racist. And it's not against the law for you to be racist. It's against the law for you to push racial stuff on other people. Nobody tell you you can hate who you want to hate. You the dummy that want to live with hate in your heart. It's only until you start discriminating against other people and start being prejudiced against other people and start utilizing your hate against other people, and that's when it becomes a crime. Be stupid all you want, but keep that stuff to yourself.